Huh.
Did you get my text?
Yeah, I was too busy to.
Yeah.
I like the first one.
Which one was that?
Road Reds.
Road
I think
Reds.
Red's on the road.
There's the
like
second
two-
baseman, number 1,
Make
Aaron
the R's capital.
Palmer.
And we're back here to resume play here in the top of the second inning. A pitching change for the Sanford River Rats. Coming in for Davis Vayner is Craig Savage, number 16. Vayner only pitching 1 inning, giving up 3 hits and 4 runs. So now Craig Savage will keep it going for the Rats. Here comes the first pitch to Aaron Palmer, and that's going to be called strike. Already going to the top of the lineup for the second time tonight here in the second inning. Altamont Springs with 8 batters in the first, able to score 4 runs by Shantooth, Gonzalez, Sierra, and Swartfegger. And now the check over at first is the panic. Does not get there in time.
They're terrible.
They get first pick.
And now Alex Young at first base. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Palmer from Savage, and that will be popped high and may go out of play and will do for a foul. Alex Young was running there, trying to steal second. If Alex Young would have stolen second, it would have been another stolen base presented by Orlando Sanford International Airport. For those who are wondering, from Grand Valley State. So here comes Palmer from New Orleans. Here's New Orleans. Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Savage, and that will be hit out to right field. Gibbs will get there for out number 1. So Palmer, who grounded out to the pitcher, who was Vayner, to start this ball game, flies out to Cole Gibbs out in right field. Now here comes Yassine Shantooth, who hit the single to start this hit parade going for the Altamont Springs Boom in the top of the first.
Your beloved Blue Jays.
How about Lays Exposed?
Also today, currently going on now, is the MLB draft. A lot of players looking to hopefully get drafted and make their way up to the show. Here comes the first pitch, and that's going to be chopped over to third to Mason. Mason will turn the double play as he gets it to Breen, then throws it to Sapanic. 5-4-3 double play to get out of this inning quickly. It's still a 4-0 game. Altamont Springs in the lead, but Sanford can make it up when we come back for the
Hey, don't
bottom.
forget, fans, it's Thirsty Thursday. The lovely ladies of Duffy's down there under the Yingling umbrella behind the Boom dugout, awful lonely. So get yourself an ice cold Yingling for just $1 all night long, every Thursday night.
field and will be caught for the first out of the game by Young. So nice shot there by Ryan Mason from High Point University as it flies out to right field. So now Cole Gibbs from University of North Carolina hit a home run in yesterday's doubleheader matchup against Winter Park, looking to go for another one tonight.
Lopez.
That's playing Queens on Long Island.
No, I'm sorry, it's Sergio Lopez up to bat as the first pitch is called a ball.
No.
28, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, I was right the first time. That is Cole Gibbs. So here is the 1-0 count with one out, and that fastball will be down low
From North Carolina.
for ball two.
He got me stumped up here.
Now, 2-0 pitch over to Gibbs, the Tar Heel from Kilgore. That was going to be inside, down low for ball three. So Gibbs has the opportunity to get on base via a walk.
Before that? What do you mean before that?
Gibbs went 0 for 4 for one game, but did go 1 for 4 the next inning, hitting a two-run homer.
Yeah, it was
3-0 pitch. That was going to be called strike. Kilgore staying composed in this one.
Any major league teams around there?
Has not given up a hit yet.
Dodgers, the New York Giants.
Struck out 6 in 5 innings in his first appearance this season.
At the time.
And
So here comes the 3-1 pitch. Kilgore to Gibbs, and he's going to swing through and miss that one for strike two.
And the Yankees.
New York Mets. They're not on continental United States.
Sanford
Long Island.
trying to cut into this lead any way they can here early on. Davis Vayner leaving, Craig Savage coming in, the pitcher, and that ball will be called ball 4. And Gibbs will make it to first via a walk. And now here comes Sergio Lopez for the
Now we got
River
left
Rats.
fielder number 22, Sergio Lopez.
Lopez this season batting 182, 2 hits out of 11 at-bats, does have an RBI on the year, has been walked 4 times this year.
Not end with an S. Name them.
Lopez been walked twice
Magic.
this year.
Red Sox, White Sox,
And
Wild.
now here Kilgore gonna throw it over to first,
The 6.
making sure that Gibbs doesn't go anywhere.
Lightning. One more. I think Master P should get it.
This outfield plays deeper than
So here comes the first official pitch
Park.
to Sergio Lopez, and that's gonna be swung through and a miss for strike 1. Lopez from Hillsborough Community College here in the state of Florida.
We got this pretty quick though.
They're not of the big 4. I'm not
So now here's the 0-1 pitch from Kilgore. You got Gibbs at first. Now here comes the pitch. Down low, called for a ball. So now
In the 4 locations.
1-1 count with 1 out, 1 runner on.
The first season. Orlando.
Here we go once again. Lopez
Daytona.
gonna throw it over to first base
Hey,
'Cause it's up
to
and
Sierra.
turn nose. Well done.
Over there.
Lopez did not play in game 1 or in game 2. He went 1 for 5 with an RBI.
By the weeks and stuff, right?
So here comes the 2-1 count, swing through and a miss
Oh, the
for
Shockers.
strike 2.
Shockers, Kudas, Rats, Diamondbacks.
I'm gonna give you 6 intern points.
Name the head coach.
Now,
At one
2-2
point,
count
Billy
here,
Johnson,
runner
at
on
one
first,
point-
1 out.
Yeah. What was I, 9 years old first year?
Kilgore setting up for the pitch, has 1 strikeout so far. Here it comes, and that one's going to be hit and will be in the early of right field. So a base hit by Sergio Lopez. And now Cole Gibbs in scoring position at second. And here comes
He's wearing number 2.
Logan Stepanek
Yeah.
from Dallas Baptist University coming in today.
And we welcome
Dallas
making his
Baptist,
first
one of those
appearance
teams
here
into
for the River Rats from the
the
Patriots of Dallas
NCAA
Baptist.
baseball
Number 2,
tournament.
first baseman Logan Sopanek.
Now Stepanek wearing number 2, the right-hander, coming up the bat as Oliva
Sights. That was one of them.
want to talk to Kilgore.
Melvin, coach.
Now you got runners on first and second. The Boom are going to try and turn two here with this at bat. Be excellent look into Sapanic this season. Now here comes the first pitch, and that will be in there, called strike.
Ricky Planté
For strike one.
I know the name.
and Pat Dunn, Daytona.
That is the first official hit for the River Rats tonight. Now an opportunity to cut into this Boom lead. Boom scoring 4 runs here in the top of the first inning. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That one's going to be inside. Call the ball.
They all look the same.
When we start the top of the third, we'll have the journalism intern for the Altamont Springs Boom, Aaron Polivoy, coming in to speak on behalf of the Boom's production here early on in this ball game. A little bit about Keelan Kilgore. 1-1 pitch. That one's going to be down low for a ball. So Kilgore from Wichita State. Great baseball program out there.
Crowd right there, boys.
It is Thirsty Thursday here at historic Sanford Memorial Stadium. Dollar Yingling Beers. Yingling is sponsor of the Florida League. As for a second, Kilgore is about to throw back at second. It's a 2-1 count with 1 out. Cole Gibbs at second. Sergio Lopez at first. Logan Sapanic the batter. Trying to bring a run home and cut into this 4-0 lead. And that one's going to be hit out into left field, but will be in foul territory as Sapanic got a shot of that. So now it is a 2-2 count here of 1 out as Sapanic steps back into the batter's box. Alejandro Martinez on deck. Now here comes the 2-2 pitch coming, and that will be high for ball 3, so a full count situation for Sapanic. And this opportunity, the Rats could have bases loaded with Martinez due up. Now here comes the Dallas Baptist. Gonna hit it out into left field. And it was a nice diving catch made by Johnson. So just like that, 2 outs here.
Seth Johnson.
Excellent diving catch by Seth Johnson. And what for a moment would have been an opportunity to bring Gibbs home has been halted
Hillsborough College.
to now from Hillsborough
19, catcher,
Community College.
Alejandro.
It is Alejandro Martinez. Martinez looking to bring his teammate Sergio Lopez home. Both teammates at Hillsborough here in the state of Florida. Here comes the first pitch from Kilgore to Martinez, and that's going to be chopped foul. Across the Florida League, you got the Winter Park Diamond Dogs, who the Rats defeated in doubleheader fashion, going up against the Deland Suns. The Winter Garden Squeeze versus Leesburg Lightning game canceled due to unfit playing conditions. The Squeeze game on Monday, or Tuesday I should say, was canceled as well due to unfit playing conditions, as that pitch would be called up for a ball. Tropical Storm Colin coming through here, Florida and the coast of Georgia and South Carolina, bringing in a lot of rain. And some of these baseball fields need a couple extra days as that pitch is outside for ball 2.
There was one more.
Martinez this season
I think you win around her.
batting okay, currently batting very well, batting at 400 here in the 4 games played. Has 2 hits and 5 at bats. 2-1 pitch. That one's going to be popped up to second, and Palmer will make the catch for out number 3. So even though a runner was in scoring position. And that one's going to be popped high over the right field. Jason Sierra was the batter as the catch will be made by Gibbs. So early on here, 2 outs here in the top of the third. That's exactly what the River Rats need right now after giving up those 4 runs in the first, as Seth Johnson, who grounded out the second in his first at bat, but brought home a run. It'll be interesting to see. Both teams are actually still tied for first place here in the Florida League, even though the Boom are 3-1 and the Rats are 4-2 in this season. A couple games have been rained out due to Tropical Storm Colin, as the first pitch is swing and a miss for strike 1.
Yeah, right now, the River Rats doing a good job these last couple of innings. The key for Sanford is not to allow Altamont reach base. Believe it or not, this is not a misprint. Altamont stole 10 bases in yesterday's 8-3 win over Winter Garden. So
wow.
Keep them off the base, good things will happen.
A lot of takeoffs there.
A lot of takeoffs and landings presented by Orlando Sanford International Airport. I know our broadcaster, Mark Shelley, sounded like a broken record saying that 10 different times.
We're going to get Mark Shelley on the broadcast here later tonight. He's in the building.
Not always in the building, he's just feet away.
He is feet away. We have Tough TV in here as well. You know, that's what he's taking care of right now. Tough TV, broadcasting the game live on YouTube. As this is a 4-0 game here. Altamont springs up. Here comes the 2-1 pitch with 2 outs over to Johnson. That's going to be called strike. So Craig Savage coming in here for Davis Vayner, being able to pitch really well here in the second inning at play. Of course, Vayner coming out after 1, giving up those 4 runs on 3 hits. No errors for both teams. The Rats have gotten 1 hit so far by Martinez. And that's going to be swing and will be chopped foul as it goes past Martinez at the catcher.
Yeah, Johnson just got a piece of that. His last time up, grounded out to the second baseman ring, but did bring home a run. So productive outs, you know. Head coach Chuck Shaw has to love that. And that's kind of why the Boom have this early 4-0 lead. Just only 3 hits, however.
Now here comes the 2-2 pitch, and that's going to be high and outside for ball 3. So a full count here with 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd inning. Seth Johnson has 1 hit and 11 at-bats, or 12 at-bats now, although able to bring in a run, his second RBI of the season. So here comes the full count pitch, and that's going to be chopped over to third. Mason will throw it over to first for out 3. So 1-2-3 inning here, exactly what the River Rats need. They come back in the bottom, looking to cut into this 4-0 lead. It will be third inning. Nick Green leading off for the Rats at the 9 spot, getting his first at-bat of the night as well. Nick Green did not play came in as a pinch hitter as that was going to be hit up the middle for a leadoff single. Second hit of the ball game. Kevin Davidson probably telling those guys to get after it, trying to cut into this lead early.
You gotta like that by Breen being aggressive on the first pitch.
There's a leadoff hitter.
Right up the middle, doesn't get much better than that. Also, he sets the table for the top of his lineup. So Sanford right now hoping, I mean, a lot of baseball left to be played. This 4-run lead really is much to be put in perspective of that. Sanford still has 7 more innings worth of at-bats.
Yeah, it's an excellent start there by Altamont Springs, but there's still plenty of ball game to go here tonight as we're just getting to a third of this game tonight. Now Kyle Wilson, who popped up to short to start the game, that first pitch coming in by Kilgore for strike 1. And Kilgore in his last appearance, 5 innings, only gave up 3 hits, struck out 6. He's doing good so far, only giving up 2 hits with 1 strikeout. How does he stay composed throughout this ball game?
You know, I think it's just a matter of if we have a. I'll let you take the call.
Sorry, I hate to interrupt as soon as I ask you a question. That one's going to be a fielder's choice as it goes up to second base and makes the 4-6. Could not get the 3, so a fielder's choice there. And
Center fielder.
Kyle Wilson will stay on first, and Justin Smith, who grounded out to short in his last plate appearance, coming up to bat. Now I was talking about Kilgore. You know, how did he stay so composed as he pitched so well in his first game?
Well, I talked to him after that first game, and his catcher was Mitch Barati, who's on the bench today. And right now his catcher is Randy Oliva. And it's just a matter of staying with the game plan, as that pitch is down low for a ball. But I think it kind of goes to, you know, pitchers are very shy and reserved. That game plan answer is very, you know, we've heard it from different pitchers. But I think just the most important thing is staying down in the zone, especially in a ballpark like Sanford where the ball kind of pops off the bat.
And speaking of popping off the bat, it's going to be a pop-off up the center field to Swartfeger. He will come in and make the catch for out number 2. So Wilson going to stay out there at first base. Now you got Reed Hayes, who struck out in the bottom of the first inning.
And with Kilgore, you get a lot of depth. I mean, this is a guy that was ranked the #1 left-handed pitcher in the state of Kansas, where he's from in high school by Perfect Game, which is a baseball recruiting service, very much so like Max Preps. So for him, it just comes down to you know, hitting your corners and you know, keeping the ball low. I mean, I think all pitchers kind of live and die by that. Obviously, once you start to elevate the ball, that's when problems start to happen. But I mean, he really only throws 3 or 4 pitches, and nothing too special, just kind of pitch and catch.
It could be a possibility that Kilgore could get drafted tonight during the game. The MLB draft is currently ongoing, and Kilgore being the #1 pitcher, left-handed pitcher in the state of Kansas, there has to be a couple of teams eyeing him. Of course, another famous left-handed pitcher, Clayton Kershaw, who was really well in high school, was watching one of his films earlier. That was going to be chopped foul.
Mitch McCarthy picked up the same
Watching one of those games earlier from Kershaw in high school. It was a 10-0 game, ended in 5 innings. Kershaw pitched against 5 batters, struck out against. He pitched 15 batters, struck out all 15, and also hit a home run in that game.
Yeah, when you see what he's doing now, you know, won a couple MVPs, a couple Cy Youngs as a no-hitter to his resume. Clearly one of the best left-handed pitchers, not just currently in baseball, but there are some Dodgers fans that would say, hey, he's even better than Sandy Koufax. So I guess it depends on who you talk to. But obviously, you know, pitching's fun to watch. But whenever you have a left-handed pitcher, especially like Kershaw, with kind of a unique release point, it's always fun to watch him do what he does at Chavez Ravine.
Now here comes the 1-1 pitch over to Hayes, and that one's going to be popped high, and Kilgore will stay with it. No, Sierra going to come through and get the pop-up for out number 3. So a leadoff single. Ready?
Yeah.
And we're back here. A 4-0 lead. Altamont Springs up against Sanford. Leading off will be Swartfeger, who was hit by a pitch in his first at bat. Aaron, you take it away.
Thank you, Danny. Glad to be here. 4-0 Boone going into the top of the fourth at historic Sanford Memorial Stadium. The matchup between two of the first place teams here in the Florida Collegiate Summer League. Small sample size, of course, but always nice to see some early competition. First pitch on the way to Savage is hit to left field by Schwartfeger. That one's slicing away, and that's going to hit off the base of the wall. Schwartfeger will dig for two. He will get up standing up, and Russell Schwartfeger will get in with a lead-off double. First pitch, swinging, takes it the other way, and hit that one about 328 feet. A hit right off the base of the wall. For a second, that one looked like it might carry out of here, Danny.
Well, yeah, indeed. Almost went out of it for a home run for the Boom. Now, here is something very interesting. Now, I did say Swartfeger was leading off, but it seemed like number 25 came in for the Boom and hit that leadoff double. And Altamont Springs was having a couple players keep on coming in throughout the season.
Well, actually, that is Schwartfeger. He left his jersey at home today, believe it or not. Actually, Anthony Espinal, a right-handed pitcher, left his jersey at home the other day, too. So a couple of guys needing some temporary jerseys. Fun fact about Schwartfeger, one of his cousins is actually NFL quarterback Carson Palmer, believe it or not.
Really?
Rivera shows bunt. Pulled back, though.
Really?
So anyway, kind of a fun fact there. We were kind of going through the list of players, and we found out that it turns out we were trying to find out if he's a close cousin or a distant, but Carson Palmer is related to Russell Schwartfeger, and
Well, he had a little bit of success in his bloodline. You know, it's Carson Palmer playing at quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals, starting off, and also with the Arizona Cardinals, as that one's going to be a bunt foul.
Rivera shows bunt, bounces off the plate. 0-2, so Schwartfeger goes back to second base. Rivera, his first time up, and already a single kind of slapped the ball into left field. But right now, the Boom looking to tack on another run. They're just joining us 4-0 Altamont here over the River Rats. Here we are, $1 draft beer night here. Yinglings are presenting sponsor throughout the league.
That's
so,
right, $1 Yingling.
Down to the ballpark, we still have some beer to be served throughout the game, and a special game as former River Rat head coach and three-time World Series champion Davey Johnson, former manager of the Washington Nationals, hit 40-plus home runs as a second baseman with the Braves back in his playing days throughout the first pitch. So always nice to see a local celebrity like Davey at the ballpark, and he's down there somewhere in the crowd.
He's probably somewhere signing a couple of autographs, but that pitch would be high for ball one here. Going up against Christian Rivera, who hit an RBI single, also got a stolen base on his last at bat.
Rivera actually is about one of 5 guys on Florida Collegiate teams that went to the tryout and actually made it out the tryout. He attends Weber International, a small school, NAIA. So, you know, and he's been very productive. Yesterday in game 1 of the doubleheader, he had a double down the left field line that just kept fair within the third base bag. So, between him, Angel Garcett, and Aaron Palmer, the Boom have a formidable middle infield. That pitch is lined into shallow center field. It's going to drop in front of Smith. Schwartfeger will be held up at third base, so the Boom have runners on the corners at third and first. Christian Rivera with his second single in the game, and just like that, Altamont Springs looking to tack on another run. A leadoff double by Russell Schwartfeger and a single by Christian Rivera puts runners to the corner for Randy Oliva. Now Oliva just joined the team today from Florida Atlantic. He's going into his junior season with the Owls. He struck out his first time up. That was Vayner's lone strikeout.
Catcher,
Only going
Randy
1+
Oliva.
innings was Vayner, the starting catcher, or rather the starting pitcher, for the River Rats. Right now, Oliva, though, can make a good impression on his teammates with some ducks on the pond.
You got runners on the corners here for the Boom. As that first pitch comes in, that's going to be called a ball. And it seems like a Boom invasion here. No outs here to start the top of the fourth inning. The leadoff double by Schwartfeger, the single by Rivera. And now with Schwartfeger in scoring position, you have Oliva just coming in today, striking out his first at bat.
Here's the pitch on the way to Oliva. He takes that one again upstairs. So 2-0. Good count right now for Oliva. Now, if you don't want, Savage does not want to go 3-0 on him and load the bases for Alex Young, the 9-hitter, who's standing in the on-deck circle.
And he hasn't walked anybody so far. Davis Janner walked 2 in the first inning. His final stat line: 1 inning pitch, gave up 3 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, struck out 1 and walked 2 in 9 batters faced.
The 2-0 pitch on the way, that one outside again, so 3-0 to Oliva. You know right now Savage would love the double play ball. In fact, it looks like a ground ball hit to either Wilson at shortstop or Green at second. They would opt to go for the double play and let the run score if it's hit at a corner infielder with Matheson at third or Sapanic at first. Perhaps a different situation there. As Savage throws back over to first, Rivera diving in safely, just trying to keep him honest. Rivera, Danny, as you mentioned earlier, did steal a base earlier in the first inning where he was stranded at second base. 3-0, I'm sure Lee will be taking all the way here, and that pitch is a strike called, catches the heart of the plate, 3-1, and right now, a great hitters count for Oliva as he looks down at Chuck Shaw at third base, coaching box to see what the strategy is here for these next couple pitches.
Chuck Shaw, the head coach for the Boom, Jim Newland and Ryan Gentle, the assistant coaches.
Savage is set, he kicks the throw-up pitch, and big swing and a miss, so 3-2 right now. And interesting, with the count 3-2, it wouldn't surprise me at all. I don't think it'd surprise anybody that's been following the Boom the last couple of days to see Rivera take off from first base to, obviously with the full count, but also to break up a potential double play. So let's see what Rivera does here at first base. It's a full count on Oliva. Savage is set, looks back over toward first, and there goes Rivera. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss. So he will strike out, but going into second base with his second stolen base of the game is Christian Rivera. In fact, no throw there by the catcher Martinez, as Rivera had that one stolen right away.
Another successful leadoff and landing brought to you by Orlando Sanford International Airport, one of the key sponsors for the Florida Collegiate Summer League. And that stolen base does take away the double play opportunity for Sanford. So they have to play this one out, going back with the 9 spot, Alex Young, who walked in his first plate appearance here in the top of the second inning.
Just like that, through 3 and a third innings, the Boom already have 3 stolen bases. 2 of those by Rivera, 1 by Yassine Shentu, the designated hitter. This pitch by Young is hit to the shortstop, Wilson. He's just going to throw across to Sapanic, but in the process, Schwartzbecker will come in to score, so that will be an RBI ground out for Alex Young, his first RBI of the day. Schwartzbecker comes in, making it a 5-0 game, and advancing on the play is Rivera to third base. So the Rats opt to trade an out for a run, and now it's the Altamont Springs Boom 5 and the Sanford River Rats 0.
And you can't trade in too many runs here in this ball game. Already through 3 2/3. It's a 5-0 ball game with the Boom up over the Rats. The Rats only with 2 hits so far in this game, so they're trying to get a couple of more going forward. But Savage, this is his first run allowed here tonight.
Now stepping in the box is Aaron Palmer, the second baseman out of the University of New Orleans. 0 for 2 in the day. In the first inning, grounded back to Vayner at the pitcher's mound before flying out to Gibbs out in right field. So, he'd like to add another run right here with Rivera just standing 90 feet away at third base. Big swing and a miss right there by Palmer, evening out the count at 1-1.
So 1-1 count here with 2 outs, a runner in scoring position at third. You got Rivera there. Schwartzbecker started this whole thing with the leadoff double, then the single by Rivera. Oliva struck out, and then the 6-3 transaction by Young. But the run did score. Schwartzbecker coming in home, his second run of the night.
The 1-1 pitch on the way to Palmer. This one fouled down into the third base dugout, making it 1-2. That stolen base by Rivera looms large, because if he doesn't steal that base, that ground out there by Alex Young, potentially could have been a 6-4-3 double play. Now, I know Alex Young runs fast. In fact, at St. Clair College, where he played before transferring to Grand Valley State, I believe he had 47 stolen bases in 1 year. So he would have been tough to turn the double play on, but they had that option up. So really, Christian Rivera stealing that base, he's just as part of that, just as big a part of that run, the 5th run that the Boom scored, as Schwartzbecker or Young was. The 1-2 pitch on the way. This one grounded right back to the shortstop, Wilson. He plays it on a couple hops, throws across to Sapanic, and they will get the out. But the Boom tack on another run. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on. Going to the bottom half of the
right down on the
five.
Riverwalk Pizza here in Sanford. And they
job,
provide
man.
tonight's team
Good
meal.
shit.
Absolutely.
Turn it back over to you. I just like to do like half
Pizza
minutes.
and good people.
Even for, oh yeah, dude.
the bottom of the fourth
So
inning.
I will take
Your
it back
third
over.
baseman, number 33, Ryan Mason.
And we're back about to start the bottom of the fourth inning. The Boom play 5-0 lead now over Sanford. Aaron did a good job there calling the top of the fourth for the Boom. So here's the first pitch to the leadoff hitter, Ryan Mason, and that will be called a ball. Now Craig Savage, who came in for Davis Vanner earlier, doing pretty well so far, only gave up 2 hits in a run with 1 strikeout and has faced 10 batters so far. Kilgore, as that pitch is in for now at a 1-1 count. Kilgore with only allowing 2 hits, walked 1, and struck out 1 in 12 batters faced here in 3 innings, and that one's going to be chopped foul out into the parking lot. And so,
Yeah, Kilgore looking sharp early. Obviously, an offense like Sanford, I've just been box score watching. I see they put up 8, 9 runs. The other night they had 18. But right now, he's keeping this lineup at bay.
and that one hitting the dirt before he even makes it to the catcher. That one's going to be a ball too. And yeah, this historic Sanford Memorial Stadium being a hitter's ballpark this past Saturday against the Leesburg Lightning in Game 3. That was an 18-8 ball game ending in 7 innings. So Sanford known to get a lot of hits. They did a lot against the Leesburg. Against Winter Park was a little bit of a different story. Game 1 they lost here at Sanford, but won games 2 and 3 at Bishop Moore High School, where the Diamond Dogs currently plays. Now is a full count here on Ryan Mason, who flew out to right field his first at bat back in the bottom of the second. Full count pitch coming. That one's going to be called a ball, so a leadoff walk for the River Rats, something that can set things up with Cole Gibbs, who was walked in his last plate appearance.
So when you click on that, nothing.
Yeah, you know, since the bottom of the second,
Somehow this
this is the
bad.
second inning in a row.
Great.
Danny had Rats have had a leadoff base runner. This coming from a walk, and I know the common saying because leadoff walks come around to score. You know, Sanford would like to make that true, but since the top of the second, Sanford has had this will be their fifth base runner. So certainly they've had opportunities there, and you'd love to see Gibbs here crack one into the gap to let Mason run a little bit and put some runs on board.
First pitch is called for a ball, so it's lefty Gibbs against the lefty Kilgore. Usually with these lefty on lefty situations, the pitcher is in the favor to get the win. And with Gibbs, who walked in his first plate appearance, it could be the different way around tonight.
Yeah, lefty, it's hard to kind of read what the pitch is coming from that angle, especially the one Kilgore has where he kind of throws over the body.
That was going to be down low and bouncing off of the catcher Oliva, and it seems now that Mason will make his way to second. That will be a wild pitch on Kilgore.
Yeah, a break there for the River Rats. In fact, this is their first base runner since Gibbs back in the second inning that has been
Let's get
scoring.
those raffle
Kilgore
tickets.
ran into a little trouble in that second inning, 2-1, and just 1 out, but he was able to induce a couple fly balls to get out of it. And of course, a great diving catch by Seth Johnson in left field helped him out in that frame. But right now, the River Rats, looking like they're trying to route runners from station to station and get a couple runs.
Well, hopefully they can do that indeed with another running in scoring position. That pitch in there for strike 1. Cole Gibbs was actually the one in scoring position in the bottom of the second inning, who made it over to second via the Sergio Lopez single back there. Now with no outs, it's a great opportunity for the Rats to cut into this lead. And here comes the 2-1 pitch down low for ball 3. So already a 3-1 count. You could see back-to-back walks here to start the inning. There's no one in the bullpen for Altamont Springs, so Kilgore gonna keep it tight here and try and stay frosty out there in the mound.
Yeah, 3-1 right here. He has open base at first, so that's not an excuse to leave a pitch right down the middle. But we'll see.
And that will be close call, but it's called ball 4. So now Gibbs, for his second walk of the night, making his way over to first base. And now Sergio Lopez, who has one of the only 2 hits for the River Rats in this ball game, coming up to the plate.
Juan Martinez.
Yeah, great opportunity here as pitching
And,
coach Jim Newland on the mound.
Mitch McCarthy
We're kind of
with a
obstructed at our angle to see inside their bullpen, but you got to believe that some bodies might be stirring down there and warming up just a little bit. But Kilgore was in this situation just a couple of innings ago, and he's able to work out of it. So right now, you just got to keep the ball low. Looks like he's missed a couple calls that have been pretty close to that last pitch, just off the plate a little bit. But right now, Sanford's threatening, and the Boom would like to get a double play ball right here with a strikeout.
But one thing the Boom is really good at is limit is keeping their pitchers at rest. You know, you only use a couple of pitchers each game. Of course, you had the 1-0 game against Winter Park, and also the 2-1 game in Game 2 against Winter Park, winning that one in sacrifice fly fashion, hitting the game-winning sac fly RBI. It's going to be very interesting to see what they're going to do as Kilgore throws the first pitch, and it'll be chucked back at second, missed, and it seems like Mason will stay at second. Oliva was trying to throw it back at second because for a minute there, it seemed like Mason was about to go for third.
Yeah, that's a break right there for the Boom. It looked like Oliva, or excuse me, it looked like Mason diving back in, kind of hit Palmer's knee and kind of, preventing him from getting up right away. But Schwartzberger out in center field back in the playoff. He would have been out had he advanced to third. So a break there for the Boom on the errant throw by Oliva.
Here comes the 1-0 pitch, and that one's going to go deep in the left field. It's going to be high, and it is gone. Johnson not even going to try and get it, and just like that, a 3-run homer by Sergio Lopez, and the Rats are back in this ball game here in the bottom of the fourth. Bases clearing home run.
Wow.
3-run homer, the third hit of the game. And now it's 5-3, and we still got plenty of ball game to play, folks.
Hey, and that just starts off with a couple of walks, both come around to score. I think what was most impressive about that home run is I was watching Seth Johnson out in left field. He took about a step to his right and just said, forget about it. That one goes into the softball field behind the left field fence, at least to the 330. That cleared it with a lot of space, so, just by eyeballing it, maybe 350, 360. That's impressive off the wood bat, no question about it. For Jalen Whitehead, though, he gets a start over, a 5-3 game, but nobody on base. So let's see if he can calm him down and get a couple outs here.
Sergio Lopez with his first home run of the ball game. That first pitch is called a ball. Logan Stepanek coming up to bat. He popped out into left field in his first plate appearance. 3-run homer there by Sergio Lopez, the Hillsborough Community College player, getting his first home run of the season. Now it is a 5-4 ball game. Sanford getting 3 hits in this one. This is the 3rd hit of the night in this inning.
Yeah, right there, Green. That one literally landed maybe an inch or 2 from the chalk. Did a good job taking the pitch on the outer corner of the plate and taking it the other way. And right now, tying run 90 feet away, go-ahead run at second base for the Rats. And there are still no outs right now. So a big rally and comeback this inning by Sanford.
First pitch to Kyle Wilson, called a strike. And yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, Aaron.
Defensively, it looks like outfield playing straight up. Middle infielders, Rivera and Palmer playing back, and playing even with the bases are Chris Gonzalez and Jason Sierra at first base.
Now here comes the next pitch to Wilson. That one's going to be down low, called a ball.
So it looks like Altamont will be trading a run here for an out, at least if it's hit up to a middle infielder. Depends on how hard the ball is hit, if it does go to Gonzalez or Sierra. But Sanford's in business right now. Still nobody out.
Kyle Wilson batting 173 on the season, as that pitch is away for ball 2. Has 1 RBI on the year as well. Looking to bring in a couple of more to add more to his RBI totals. I'm telling you, this is a hitter's ballpark. You saw the deep 3-run homer by Sergio Lopez earlier in this inning. And of course, Altamont scoring 4 runs in the top of the first. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Now it's going to be popped high, and it will be Palmer to be there making the infield catch.
Just what the doctor ordered if you're Jalen Whitehead right there. Pop up, it doesn't even leave the infield right there. So big out by Whitehead, 1 down. And sometimes it's just you need 1 out to get behind you just to see that 1 get put up on the score on the scoreboard. So still 2 more big outs to get, but a break there by Altamont that's popped up in Palmer.
And now up to the plate here is Justin Smith. Smith flew out to center field in his last plate appearance, and that one's going to be chopped over to short, and the throw will be in time for out number 2. However, the run scores, so Justin Smith getting an RBI on the night with that 6-3 transaction, as Martinez is able to come home and tie this game up at 5, and we have a ball game now. 5 runs on 5 hits for both teams, as it is tied up. And now Reed Hayes will be the 9th batter of this inning coming up to bat.
RBI stepping in. Here's the DH, number 11, Reed.
Reed Hayes, who's 0 for 2 tonight, struck out in his first plate appearance, popped up to first in his second plate appearance. Looking to do something better here in his 3rd at bat.
Danny, we have a new ball game.
And you also got a runner on 3rd. Nick Green was able to advance in that ground out to short by Justin Smith, or from Justin Smith, as the first pitch is down low for a ball. So now, Whitehead setting up once again the lefty against the righty. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Now will be outside, call for ball. Now it's a 2-0 count here with 2 outs here in the bottom. So now, here we go. Whitehead going to set up once again over Hayes. Hayes is batting currently at 480 this year, as that one will be called strike. Hayes has been a key player for the River Rats this season, actually batting at 444. He came in the game batting at 480. So now here comes the 2-1 pitch, and that will be swung through and a miss for strike 2. So back-to-back strikes for Whitehead looking to get out of this inning.
Yeah, big pitch right here. Go ahead, run just 90 feet away at 3rd base. Not a pretty inning for Altamont, but for how everything's gone against them, if they can get back to the dugout tied.
And that one's going to be high for ball 3. Whitehead will not be charged for any of these runs. These are all runs left by Kilgore in the 3 innings pitched.
And worth noting that Hayes is the 9th batter of this inning, so Rats looking to bat around.
Absolutely. Here comes the full count pitch inside the gap, and that will give the Rats the lead. An RBI single by Reed Hayes. It is now 6-5. Sanford over Altamont, as Breen is able to come home.
And just like that, Sanford takes a 6-5 lead. That ball was rocketed between Gonzalez and Rivera at 3rd base. Big pitch there, full count. He deposits it into left field. Sanford takes a 6-5 lead over the Boom, and it looks like more action down in the Altamont bullpen. Someone's up there standing, maybe not throwing off the mound, but not a great inning so far for Whitehead.
First pitch, chopped foul, and Ryan Mason, who started this whole thing with a leadoff walk, has a run in this inning. So he is the 10th batter faced. Very interesting here for Sanford. This is the second time they have gone across the whole lineup, as that was going to be chopped foul. 6 runs here in this bottom of the 4th inning off of 6 hits. It started with a leadoff walk by Ryan Mason, Cole Gibbs with the walk, and then Sergio Lopez with a 3-run homer. Sapanic with the double. Martinez was walked over to first. Nick Breen with the RBI double. Kyle Wilson popped up to second. Justin Smith was grounded out, but a run did score. And here comes a stolen base. And it seems like Hayes will get there in time. Another successful takeoff and landing brought to you by Orlando Sanford International Airport, and that brings another runner in scoring position. Mason looking to bring him home. Mason with 5 RBIs of the year, coming into this game batting at 250. And now it is a 2-2 count here with 2 outs and a runner on second. So now Whitehead going to set himself up. Here is the 2-2 pitch coming with 2 outs, and that'll be swing and a miss for strike 3. So it seems like Whitehead able to get out of this one, but not without 6 runs scoring here. And we are back to begin the top of the 5th inning between Altamont Springs and the Sanford River Rats. Sanford with a 6-run surge in the bottom of the 4th inning. It is now 6-5, and that's got to give the pitcher for the River Rats, Craig Savage, a little bit of a relief knowing that he has the lead. That first pitch coming in for ball 1 on the leadoff hitter, Yassine Chintouf, grounded out in the 5-4-3 double play his last at bat.
Shentu, a big stolen base there, so if he can get on it, it surprised me to see him make his way around the bases, but of course, has to get on it first.
Did have a single in his first at bat as he grounds that one out to Mason, catches the chopper, throws over to first for out number 1 here in the top of the 5th. So now you got Chris Gonzalez, who walked in the first plate appearance, grounded out to short in his second plate appearance. 0 for 1 in this ballgame, but does have a run from the RBI single from Jason Sierra. He was one of those runners that came home in the top of the 1st inning for the Boom, making it 4-0 for a little bit, as we're 2/3 through this ball game. Are currently in the second of 2/3 through this ball game. That one's called a strike. The first pitch to Gonzalez. Now Savage.
Yesterday, Sierra actually hit his first home run of the season, so definitely one of the power bats in this lineup for the Boom. So with that 330 down left field and see if he can maybe hit one out that way.
Well, they could use one and try to one up the three-run homer by Lopez back in the bottom of the fourth, as that pitch is down low for a ball. So now 1 ball across the board, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Craig Savage gonna set up and throw down to Gonzalez. Now it's gonna be chopped foul way out of the ballpark.
Yeah, right behind us. Heads up there in the parking
those
lot.
fouls.
This is why I always park in the park as far away as possible walking to Sanford Stadium.
Yeah, parking in the water tower. That's the secret key.
That is the key to success right there.
Well away from any foul balls.
The key to success, don't ever play yourself. Or DJ Cali. Now this is a 1-2 count here with 1 out. Savage going to step off the mound for a second. Going to recompose himself, trying to stay frosty out there on the mound. Now here comes a 1-2 pitch over to Gonzalez, and that was going to be hit out into left field, and it seems like it will reach the warning track. However, Lopez is there to make the catch for out number 2.
Well, he gave it a good ride, but didn't get all of it. So good at bat there by Sierra. It's nice seeing more of his power being shown, but just missed it a little bit.
It was actually Gonzalez with the fly out to left field.
Completely right.
Sierra is coming up to bat now.
I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm looking at the wrong scorecard.
So now Sierra, who flew out to right field out there to Cole Gibbs, did have an RBI single to start the hit parade for the Boom back in the top of the first inning. Here comes the first pitch, and that one's going to be in there for strike 1. And you got to be amazed here as all these collegiate players are transferring from metal bats to wooden bats on how easily it is to get a couple of hits. We've seen 11 runs here in this ball game so far off 11 hits. It's a great transition.
Yeah, definitely not an easy transition either. You know, in the first couple, talking to head coach Chuck Shaw of the Boom, he said, you know, he expects at least for the first couple of weeks as a whole that the pitchers to get the better of the hitters, just because going from aluminum bat to wood bat is a much difficult transition than it's originally thought of.
High for ball 1, and there's also a strike there earlier. So now it's a 1-2 count here with 2 outs against Jason Sierra. Sierra came into this game batting .250, 3 of 12. He's 1 of 2 tonight, and that one's going to be chopped and will be out, and it seems like it will be close to the pond out here next to Sanford Stadium. Possibly number 2 ball landing at that lake or
Yeah,
pond.
cool little complex here at Stanford. We got the main historic Memorial Stadium right here, but a couple of softball fields surrounding a very historic venue. Lots that has happened here in the last 80, 90 years.
1-2 pitch coming. That's chopped foul as it goes into the dugout for Altamont.
1-2 right now. Sierra's looking to stay alive, reach base, and keep it going. Last thing you want to do after that 6-run inning by Stanford is give them the opportunity to swing the bats again.
And Savage has 1 strikeout, only allowing 2 hits and 1 run on 12 batters faced. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Can he get a second strikeout? It's chopped fouled once again. So an excellent battle between Jason Sierra and Craig Savage.
Yeah, that pitch well low and out of the zone. He just kind of threw his bat at that to get the check swing. Just got a piece of it to stay alive. Really making Savage throw some pitches. Who's been fairly impressive since relieving Boehner coming in the second inning, getting some work a lot earlier than expected, but nonetheless it's looked great.
And that one's going to be a breaking ball into the outside right corner, and that would be called a ball. So now it's a 2-2 count as Sierra was able to chop off a couple of pitches there by Savage in the foul territory. So here comes the 2-2 pitch coming to Sierra from Savage, and that one's going to be swing and a miss for strike 3. The second strikeout of the night for Craig Savage, a 1-2-3 inning, and now the Rats are going to come back. time as Ryan Mason leaded off the bottom of the fourth and also ended the bottom of the fourth. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. Now it'll be high for a ball on Cole Gibbs. Looking at some other scores across the league, we talked about earlier how the Winter Garden and the Land game was canceled due to unfit playing conditions. That was going to be swinging and miss for strike two. Looking at Winter Park, Diamond Dogs, and the Land Suns, 14-0. Winter Park has the lead. They scored 7 runs in the third, 2 in the fourth, 5 in the fifth. They're looking at mercy rule to the Land Suns.
Yeah, very impressive outing by the Diamond Dogs and all their bats that came to play today.
Of course, Stanford getting an 18-8 win over Leesburg, over Leesburg. They will win that game in 7. So Winter Park looking to do the same to the Land tonight. So now is a 2-2 count on Cole Gibbs. Whitehead setting up for the pitch, and that will be chopped foul high out of the ballpark.
Yeah, right now Whitehead in the second inning of relief work. And right now the Rats still trying to make it more of a nice little battle here between Gibbs and Whitehead.
Cole Gibbs getting his first home run of the year yesterday in that doubleheader over the Winter Park. Now here it comes, then that one's going to be swinging and miss for strike 3. So Cole Gibbs striking out in that one. And now you got Sergio Lopez last at bat. Well, you know about that, Eric. 3-run home run.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to follow up that one with nobody on base, but a shot to left field. That ball got out of here in, 3 seconds? Real quick.
Well,
and that really sparked the rally for the River Rats.
Well, you can always get the solo, and that one's going to be hit into right field. So a single right there. And that's his third hit of the night.
Yeah, right now, putting on a clinic so far. 6 total bases. He has the home run and then a single in the second inning and a single in the fifth. So right now, definitely an early contender for Duffy Sports Grill Player of the Game.
Yes, definitely will be Duffy Sports Grill Player of the Game. 3 for 3 with a 3-run home run and 3 RBIs. Also, for the fans in attendance here at historic Stanford Memorial Stadium, you can take your ticket stub over to Duffy's and get a free pint of Yingling beer. Yingling being the official sponsor for the Florida Collegiate Summer League. And also, it's $1 beer night. You can buy Yinglings and the concession stands for $1. It's part of the Thirsty Thursday.
The Thirsty Thursday, always nice to see a crowd out of the ballpark. And they're being treated to a great game. No shortage in offense, 6-5 Stanford.
First pitch swinging and miss by Logan Sapanik. Sapanik in his last at bat had a double that kept the inning going in the bottom of the fourth after that 3-run homer by Lopez. Bats are definitely in effect here. 5 hits in the last inning and a third for the River Rats, and that one's going to be chopped foul out of here, hitting the top roof of the inside part of Stanford Stadium. Now it's 0-2 with 1 out.
0-2 right here. You know, Whitehead would love to get a ground ball. Turn 2, get out of this inning.
First round.
Couple, just 8:47 here locally in Stanford, in Central Florida. So this game going at a comfortable pace. Here we are about, going to the bottom of the 5th inning. Still plenty of game left. I'd be surprised if 6-5 held up as the final score the way these two teams have been swinging the bat.
So now still an 0-2 count. Here comes the pitch. It's a panic, and that was going to be high for ball 1. I noticed how you're kind of looking back and forth on your phone at the game. But of course, you are a very, very diehard San Jose Sharks fan, as they are currently in the Stanley Cup over the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah, they're not doing too well either. Right now, Pittsburgh could win the Cup tonight, 2-2 early in the first for listeners that would care to find out how Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final is going.
Well, I was told that Pittsburgh has never won the Stanley Cup on home ice. That was from Mark, who was a native of Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
the pick does not go through.
A Pennsylvanian, so if they can bring the series back to San Jose, I'd feel a little better. Right now, Pittsburgh, a very fun team to watch, much more dominant team. It's hard to combat their speed. Back to the game in front of us.
Yes.
You caught me sneaking on my phone.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Now it's going to be swinging and missing another strikeout here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Great pitch there by Whitehead. Really just buried that ball. Nothing Sapanik would have been able to do with that
That's
had he
your
hit it besides throwing over it.
We
So,
like to keep updated with all sports. There's nothing wrong with that. You're keeping track of the game. I mean, yesterday was game 3 of the NBA Finals. Cleveland able to come back there and make it a 2-1 series. Of course, the Warriors still have the lead 2-1. The Warriors, who had very dominant game 1 and game 2. Now Alejandro Martinez going to chop that one up over to Wilson. And we chop over to Rivera, I'm sorry. And that will be called out number 3 as Rivera decided to throw it over to second.
yeah, very close there. Rivera almost.
Top of the 6th for Altamont. Left fielder Seth Johnson.
And we are back, about to start the top of the 6th inning. A pitching change for the Sanford River Rats. Colton Freeman from Alabama coming into the ball game for Craig Savage. Savage pitching 4 innings, gave up 2 hits and a run and struck out 2 when 13 batters faced. And now the leadoff will be hit by a pitch. Seth Johnson, the leadoff for Altamont Springs, going to make it over to first in the first pitch of the inning. So now Johnson will be over at first, and now Russell Swartfeger will be coming up to the plate. Hit a double in his last at-bat. And looking to
Center fielder Russell
possibly get a couple of runs here for the Altamont Springs Boom. But it's now 6-5 out here at historic Sanford Memorial Stadium. Winter Park just having a dominant game over the land at the moment. The Leesburg Winter Garden game was canceled due to unfit playing conditions. And that pitch will be high. It will be called a ball. So now Celia Martinez is going to go up there and speak with Freeman for a moment, along with Kevin Davidson coming
Fancy
up to the
same
mound
two
as
teams
well.
will match up.
Seems like all the
And in
infielders are coming
Altamont
in for
tomorrow
a
night,
second. It would be crazy to see
and then back
another
here
pitching
on
change here.
Saturday. Hope you'll tell the neighbors, grab the
Seems
kids,
like
and
Kevin
come on
Davis is
back
going to
out.
quit pep talk
Saturday
today
night,
with
7
the
o'clock,
pitcher
first
and the
pitch
catcher.
right here to conclude the
There is
three-game
a
series.
pitcher in the bullpen, though, currently for Sanford at this moment. Altamont Springs Boom, 3-1 record against the River Rats, who are 4-2 this season. Both of them collectively tied for first place here in the Florida League. Sanford playing a couple of more games here as Altamont Springs has a couple of games rained out. All games got rained out on Monday due to Tropical Storm Colin, and doubleheaders were played all across the Florida League yesterday. Sanford getting both wins against Winter Park, the Diamond Dogs, at Bishop Moore High School. So it seemed like it was a quick pep talk there, as now Freeman, the lefty, coming up the pitch against Swarfegger, the lefty. Resuming play here was a 1-0 count. And Seth Johnson, who was hit on the first pitch of the inning, currently at first base.
12th pick for the Red Sox, born August 23rd, 1988.
So now, and that one's going to be an attempted bunt, and it does go past Mason. And a bunt single there by Swartfegger, and now you got a runner in scoring position for the Boom. An excellent bunt there as Mason was trying to play, and it went past Mason, getting past him across the third base line, and now it's after a bunt single with a runner in scoring position. And now Christian Rivera, who had a single and a stolen base in his last plate appearance, had the RBI single back in the top of the first. He's 2 for 2 in this ball game so far. So here comes the first pitch. And that one's going to be in there for strike one. Fastball clocking in at 85 miles per hour. Second pitch of the at-bat, I'm sorry. So now it's a 1-1 count. Runner on first and second. Freeman coming into this one. Coming in for Craig Savage. Savage, who came in for Davis Vanner, who started this ball game off. And here comes the pitch. And that was going to be in there, called strike. So 1-2 now. River Rats looking to get the first hit of this inning. The first out of the inning. So Rivera, who's batting .222 for this season, coming into the game.
Thanks. All right, now you have to stay up here.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and that one's going to be swung and chopped foul. Riding across the Altamont Springs dugout. Six runs were scored in the bottom of the fourth inning for Sanford. That 3-run homer by Sergio Lopez is the one that got everything going after the two previous batters for Sanford were walked. And that pitch is called strike, so Colton Freeman getting a strikeout there. The first out of the bottom of the fifth inning. Top of the sixth inning, I should say. And now Randy Oliva, who is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, is going to try and bring home Johnson, who is in scoring position at second.
Randy Oliva.
Randy Oliva, who just came in today, trying to get his first hit of the night. First pitch coming to the righty. Down low, call for a ball. Randy Oliva from Florida Atlantic, right here in the state of Florida. Looking to enhance his skills over the summer in this Florida Collegiate Summer League, as well as all the players here. A couple of players could be getting drafted tonight as the Major League Baseball draft is still going on, as that pitch is swinging and a miss for strike one. And as the older we get, the more interesting things we see. A player was drafted who was born in 1998.
Makes me feel old.
Makes all of us feel old.
You got the winning ticket?
He being born in 94. Crazy. 1-1 pitch, and that's swinging and a miss for strike two. So Freeman trying to get his second strikeout of the inning.
Middle of this inning, it's
With this 1-2 count with a runner on first and second. One out here. The Rats could be looking to turn a double play. So now Freeman setting up the lefty. Looking back, now looking at the catcher. Throws the pitch and swinging and miss for strike three. Back-to-back strikeouts for Colton Freeman and the third strikeout of the game for Randy Oliva. And now Alex Young batting the 9 spot, who grounded out to short
Right fielder.
his last plate appearance, but also got the RBI.
Young.
So here in the top of the sixth inning, Colton Freeman, who came in and gave up the single to Swartfeger, striking out Rivera and Oliva. So the first pitch coming to Alex Young from Grand Valley State. And that one's swinging and miss for strike one. Fastball in there at 85, but it seems like it's going there a little bit faster, almost hitting the lower 90s or the upper 80s.
Challenging the fastball belt.
Fastball, just excellent speed and excellent control. So now Freeman feeling good right now. Always can get the force out at first or second, or could strike out the side. 0-1 pitch, down low, called for a ball.
Who was the number one overall?
So one ball and
Mickey Moniak.
one strike here in the top of the sixth inning. Johnson at second, Swartfeger at first.
What kind of money they throw at us?
2 outs.
How about Puck?
Colton Freeman coming in for Craig Savage. Now here comes the 1-1 pitch, and that one's going to be outside, called the ball. Seems like Freeman's trying to work those corners. He tried to work the upper right-hand corner on the right-hander, Alex Young. So now Freeman's going to set up once again. Two 2-1 pitch coming. That one's going to be down low, called the ball. That was very close to being a strike two, but doesn't get inside the strike zone. So now it's a 3-1, and Freeman could be in danger of loading up the bases and have the boom go to the top of the lineup with Aaron Palmer in the on-deck circle. Palmer 0 for 3. So now Freeman is looking.
Painted to cool mode.
Here comes the 3-1 pitch, and that one's going to be down low, called the ball, and the bases are now loaded for the boom. First batter walked in this inning.
I think that was literally ice cracking. That was
First batter walked since, you guessed it, Alex Young, who walked on the top of the second. So one thing that the Rats are able to do well is get the ball in play and rely on their defensive line. So Aaron Palmer, who grounded out to the pitcher in the first pitch of the game, flew out to right field out in Gibbs and then grounded out to Wilson. First pitch coming, swing and chopped as it went past Martinez. So strike one. Great night out here for baseball at historic Sanford Memorial Stadium's Thursday. So it's Thirsty Thursday, which means Dollar Yingling Draft. Of course, you can bring your stub out to Duffy's and get a free pint of Yingling beer. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, and that one's going to be in there, called a ball.
Why would you look at the coach? What's he going to tell
And
you?
the bases are loaded here, so the Boom are going to try and
Bases loaded 2 out. What's he going to tell you?
take the lead. You got the tying run on third and Seth Johnson. You got the go-ahead run and Russell Swartfeger at second. Yeah, Alex Young at first, who was walked in his last plate appearance. 1-1 pitch, high for ball 2, and Colton Freeman doesn't want to commit another walk here and have Johnson come on home and tie this ball game up at 6 apiece. So here we go. 2-1 count, 2 outs, bases are loaded. Freeman setting up, gets the nod, throws it high for ball 3, and he doesn't look happy with that one. Another 3-1 count here. Won't be surprised if Aaron Palmer just lays off it and could take this next pitch. And it'll be a full count situation. Best case scenario, he takes it, and it's a ball 4. 3-1 pitch. He swings at it, chopped foul. Seemed like he had the green light and wanted to possibly get a couple of RBIs on his own. 0 for 3 tonight, 0 for 7 this season. Doesn't have any RBIs yet. He wants to get one in this game 1 matchup between the Altamont Springs Boom and the Sanford River Rats. Game 2 tomorrow at Lake Brantley High School. Game 3 will be Saturday back here at Sanford Stadium. Full count pitch, and it's going to be grounded out to Wilson. He's going to go over to first and gets it there in time for out number 3. And so with bases loaded, the Boone cannot score. And then it's still 6-5 Stanford.
All of you are winners. Leading off, the bottom of the 6th inning, he's a winner. Second baseman, number 23, Nick Breen.
And starting the bottom of the 6th inning is Nick Breen. First pitch comes in for a strike. Nick Breen, one of the contributors into this 6-run 4th inning that the River Rats had, has a RBI double along with a base hit so far in this game, and that one's going to be grounded out and thrown to first. 6-3 transaction there as Wilson was able to get it. So now we go to the top of the lineup. Back to Kyle Wilson, who was 0 for 2, I should say.
Here's the leadoff hitter.
Oh, he will be 0 for 3.
Kyle
Popped out to
Wilson.
second in his last plate appearance.
Check off the ones you give
Part of a 4-6 fielder's choice. Back in the bottom of the 3rd, and to start the game off, he popped out to short. So now Wilson looking for his first hit of the night. And here's the pitch. And that will be grounded out over to Rivera. And Rivera will get it there in time, just by it. By about a second, about half a second. So now, just like that, back-to-back 6-3 plays.
Justin Smith.
Now Justin Smith, who has an RBI in his ball game, he was able to get a hit in yesterday's doubleheader over Winter Park, looking to get a couple of more. Smith from the University of Miami, first pitch coming, that one's going to be down low for a ball. He came into this game with the most walks in the league, as looking here, he has been walked 5 times. And he just popped out. And it seems like the catch was made by the right fielder. So a quick 1-2-3 inning as Young makes the catch.
top of the seventh.
And we're back here. Sanford up 6-5 over the Altamont Springs Boom. There has been a pitching change for the River Rats. Coming in for Colton Freeman, it's Mitch McCarthy. McCarthy got the first save of the year for the Rats in the 9-7 Game 2 victory over the Diamond Dogs in their doubleheader. So now McCarthy setting up against the leadoff, Yassine Shintoof, and that first pitch is called strike. Very interesting to see Kevin Davison bring in McCarthy here only into the top of the 7th inning when he got the save in the last game yesterday. Could have had another save opportunity. That pitch coming in for a strike. So now, 0-2 count. Shintoof grounded out to third. Last plate appearance. So now McCarthy setting up. He has a nice, interesting kip up, leg up in his windup. So now he's setting up once again. Here comes the pitch, and that one's going to be down low, called a ball. McCarthy from Florida Southern, the 6'1" right-hander. A rising senior there. Looking to improve. Shintoof came into this game 2 of 12 here in the season. 1-2 pitch coming, breaking ball, and that one's going to be close and will hit Shintoof. So Shintoof will go to first base after that one. So now you got a runner at first. Chris Gonzalez coming up. He is 0 for 2 of a walk in this ball game. Popped up, flew out to left field. Back in the top of the 5th. It's very interesting. McCarthy was ahead of the count and hit Shintoof by mistake. So now here comes the first pitch over to Gonzalez, and that one's going to be chopped foul, hitting the net. As we're approaching the final 3 innings here in this ball game, after 2/3 of the way through, Altamont had this game going with 4 runs in the first inning, then scoring a 5th run in the top of the 4th, then in the bottom of the 4th. The bats were just on point for the River Rats. 3-run homer by Sergio Lopez got it going. And a couple more runs, and now it seems like Shintoof is stealing, and he gets there in time. Another successful takeoff and landing brought to you by Orlando Sanford International Airport. And now there's a runner in scoring position with no outs here. And the Boom are looking to tie this one up. So now the tying run is at second base. And Gonzalez is the go-ahead. So now it's a 1-1 count. Now McCarthy setting up, looking back forward. Throws the pitch, and that one's high and in. That one very close to hitting Gonzalez as well. Don't want to hit back-to-back batters. Kevin Davis is going to try and keep him in there. So now the count is 2-1. McCarthy looking back and looking forward. Here comes the pitch, and that one's going to be hit and will be counted fair on the first base line, left field line. And now the Boom tied this ball game up, and that was an RBI double by Chris Gonzalez, his first hit of the night. Both the Altamont Springs in turn inside the press box, high-fiving each other.
Sierra.
And now Jason Sierra, who had an RBI single back in the first inning, struck out in his last plate appearance. So the go-ahead run is now on second. It's a 6-6 ball game. Both teams 6 hits on 7 hits. So now McCarthy got to shake that one off. Here comes the first pitch, and it seems like it's going. And he does not get there in time as Gonzalez stole third. And another successful takeoff and landing brought to you by Orlando Sanford International Airport. Another stolen base
It's really slow.
from a team who had 10 stolen bases yesterday in their doubleheader matchup.
Pitcher never looked back at things.
So now, you got the runner on third, 0-1 count. Breaking ball gets in there for strike two. McCarthy really needs to get this first batter out here in the top of the seventh.
I thought if the third baseman held it, that it would have been.
And McCarthy, who came in for Colton Freeman, who pitched the inning and gave up a hit, walked one and struck out two in 6 batters faced. Of course, here comes the 0-2 pitch, and that was going to be chopped foul. Of course, there is a pitch limit for the pitchers here in the Florida League. A certain amount of pitchers get a certain amount of rest, depending on how many pitches they throw. So Kevin Davis is probably letting Freeman go for an inning in case he needs him for tomorrow in game 2. Breaking ball, and that will be caught by Wilson. As that was a line drive play. It went high, and Wilson went up to get it. And that's excellent there for the River Rats. It keeps Gonzalez over at third base.
The left fielder, Seth Johnson.
So a line out to short takes care of that for the first out. And now Seth Johnson, who was hit by a pitch to lead off the last inning, going to try and bring the go-ahead run home from third. And that first pitch outside for a ball. The righty going up against the lefty in Johnson. Going to be very interesting here. 6-6 ball game inside Sanford Memorial Stadium. Game 1 of this 3-game series. And that pitch is going to be hit over, and we'll get past the first baseman, and a run will score. And the Boom have retaken the lead off of that RBI single by Seth Johnson, his first hit of the night, his second RBI of the game. And the Boom are back in it. And the Boom now have the lead, as that was a single that got past the panic over at first. So now, coming up to bat is Schwartfeger, who is 2 for 2 in this ball game. Now McCarthy has to shake it off, and the Rats have to get in preparation to score some more runs here in the bottom of the 7th. So now it's a 7-6 ball game. Altamont Springs ahead of Sanford right now. It's a game between the 2 top teams in the Florida League. First pitch coming, that was down low and gets past a wild pitch. And now Johnson will make his way over to second, and in scoring position, the Boom can score some more runs here tonight. The wild pitch thrown there by McCarthy, letting Johnson be able to make his way over into scoring position. And that was the first official pitch thrown to Schwartfeger. So now, setting up once again McCarthy, who's going to look back, but hops off the mound for a minute.
The guy with a 3-foot lead.
Definitely trying to keep his eye on Johnson at second, making sure he doesn't go anywhere. 1-0 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the second to throw, and that's going to be chopped over, and it seems like Breen does not get there in time. And it seems now that Johnson makes his way all the way home. Another RBI single for the Boom. It's now 8-6. 3 runs scored here in the top of the 7th inning. And now Rivera is coming up to bat, struck out in his last plate appearance.
From Weber International Christian, Rivera.
Very interesting here. Coming into the top of the 7th, the Rats are up 6-5. Now it is 8-6. Altamont Springs scoring their first couple of runs since the 4th. Now Christian Rivera, 2 for 3 in this ball game. Rivera has 2 singles, 1 for an RBI, a stolen base, and a strikeout. McCarthy giving up 3 hits, 3 runs, and 3 earned. So now he's going to set up once again. The Rats looking to turn 2. That pitch outside for ball 1. The first official pitch to Rivera. The 6th batter faced here in this inning. Now McCarthy has to stay frosty out there on the mound. 1-0 pitch coming, breaking ball, just hitting the corner, and it'll be called a ball. Now Martinez is going to run up and talk to McCarthy for a moment. You wonder if Kevin Davis is going to keep him in or bring in another pitcher from the bullpen. Nice Thursday night out here for baseball. MLB draft currently going on as we speak. 2-0 pitch high for ball 3, and now McCarthy is in danger after giving up those 3 hits and 3 runs, possibly losing it here, and could throw ball 4. McCarthy, 3-0 pitch, and that one's inside for ball 4, and that'll be runners on first and second, and Randy Oliva will be coming up to bat for the Boom. Oliva struck out in every appearance so far tonight, 0 for 3 of 3 Ks.
Catcher Randy Oliva.
So Oliva's going to try and avoid striking out for the 4th time tonight. Going up against McCarthy. So McCarthy setting up. First pitch coming. That one's high for a ball. 5th straight ball thrown by McCarthy.
That's it.
And anything, whether it's a ground out, strikeout, will be helpful for the River Rats.
They had 2 base hits in the span of 4 pitches.
So now McCarthy, here comes the 1-0 pitch to Oliva. That one's going to be called a strike in there.
You're on the cable. Oh, man, that's a 250-pound squash right there. Push you in.
So here we go once again. 1-1 count, 1 out, runners on first and second. Here comes the pitch, and that one's going to be in there for strike 2. So back-to-back strikes thrown there by McCarthy. Looking to get out of this.
Looks like a newborn horse taking its first steps.
Fold.
So now here we go. 1-2 pitch coming. The throw. That one called ball, but it seems like he did not get there in time as Swartfegger tried to steal third. Did not get there as Martinez was able to get the throw over to Mason at third base. So that's out number 2, and that's going to do wonders as Swartfegger was caught stealing. Whoa, he was stealing. He was trying to steal. Didn't get there. And that's going to do a beauty for McCarthy. Now it's a 2-2 count with 2 outs. McCarthy can get out of this inning right here. Breaking ball, and that smacks over across in the foul territory by the Altamont Springs bullpen.
Tipping that breaking ball.
So now,
Every one of them is right on it.
2-2 count. 2 outs now as Swartfegger was caught stealing. There is a couple of pitchers in the bullpen for Altamont Springs. So now here's the pitch. McCarthy trying to get him out. Break it. Fastball. Outside for ball 3. I think that's possibly Cody Hoyer from Wichita State out there in the bullpen for Altamont. We'll have to see here in a moment. Here comes the full count pitch, and that one's going to be hit over and will be called a foul. Very close call there for the River Rats. Another run could have came home for the Boom.
Fade.
It could have been a 9-6 ball game. So now McCarthy. He's going to set up once again. Needs to get Oliva out. Oliva has struck out 3 times in this ball game. Here comes the full count pitch, and that one's going to be chopped over. Diving catch there made by Brina to get the first in time. He does, and that's going to be out number 3. Excellent diving stop there by Ryan Mason, getting the 3rd out, but the Boom are up 8-6 now, scoring 3 runs here in the top of the 7th. Rats are going to be up here when we come back. It will be Hayes, Mason, and Gibbs when we come back in a moment.
0-1.
Cody Hoyer. Hoyer from Wichita State, along with his partner, Keelan Kilgore, who started off this game for the Boom. And now leading off will be Reed Hayes for the River Rats. Hayes so far 1 of 3 of the RBI. Batting average still pretty high at 464. He's looking at a couple more hits to cut back into this lead. River Rats had the lead for 2 innings, and then the Boom scoring 3 runs here in the top. First pitch coming, fastball in there at 90 miles per hour. So, Reed Hayes getting that RBI single and a stolen base in his last at bat. Second pitch coming, that was going to be inside for a ball. So Hoyer throwing the heat here early on at 90. Back-to-back fastballs. Now he sets up. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Hayes. That one's down low for ball 2. So Reed Hayes out of Walter State up in Tennessee, bagging the DH. He was listed as a pitcher. He's played center field a couple of times, and now it's going to be chopped over to Palmer at second, and he will make the easy throw over to first for out number 1. And now you got Ryan Mason, who struck out his last at bat. He batted twice in the same inning back in the 4th.
Third
That
baseman,
6-run 4th
Ryan
inning for the River Rats.
Mason.
And it's very close here. Looking at the other game in the league. Final score coming from DeLand, 15-2, Winter Park. That game ending in 7 innings as that first pitch is in there for a strike. 15-2 ball game. Winter Park getting the win after losing both games in the doubleheader against Sanford. And that's a swing and a miss for strike 2 on Ryan Mason. Of course, the other ball game tonight between Winter Garden and Leesburg was canceled due to unfit playing conditions. Tomorrow's game will be game 2 across the series, as that ball is chopped foul out of play. Tonight's games are all game 1s of a new series in this Florida League. Game 2s will be tomorrow. The starting pitcher for the River Rats is already listed. It'll be Nick Swan, as that one's going to be popped high over to first base. Sierra going to make the easy catch for out number 2. Of course, the lineups can always change going forward.
Right fielder,
And Cole Gibbs, who struck out to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning. Coming up to bat, he is over 1. He was walked in his first 2 plate appearances. Does have a run in this ball game. Here comes the first pitch, and that was going to be swinging and a miss for strike 1. Jalen Whitehead's final stat line: pitched 3 innings, gave up 3 hits and a run, and struck out 3. Now here's the 0-1 pitch to Gibbs. That one's going to be hit out of the park for a foul. So now Altamont Springs has scored 3 runs in the top of the 7th, up 8-6. I know the Altamont Springs interns are pretty happy about that. Got 1 to my left, 1 to my right. That's a swing and miss for strike 3. And that will end the inning. Cole gives his second strikeout of the night, so we'll be right back with the top of the 8th inning. Altamont Springs up 8-6 over the River Rats.
Let's send it down to the field for our Disney ring toss. Here's Katie.
Damn. He ain't doing good.
That was a good inning.
Good inning for y'all.
First batter. No. First batter.
First batter will be
Young.
Alex Young.
Okay, why don't you take that camera out there and send
Is
it?
that one even working?
Huh?
That one's not even on.
Right, that one's not working.
Yeah.
But that one
And that's
is.
the one that he went to. So yeah,
But
he's
I gotta have it down on the memory card,
okay.
so I can edit it in later.
All right.
And find out what's going on.
Sanford's the leading offensive team in the league, right? It's safe to say.
I would think so.
Pitcher,
Phil,
13.
is it safe to say Sanford is like the most potent offense in the league, or lead the league in offense?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Whoa. Oh, we got a tie. That's what we did lead, right?
Do it for us.
Tie. Yay.
That's what we did.
Yeah.
Great job, folks. That's our Disney ring toss for the evening. Thank you, Katie. Up in DeLand, game over after 7, 15-2. The Diamond Dogs, the winner over the Suns. Up in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, the Sharks with a 3-2 lead over the Penguins, trying to prevent the Penguins from hoisting Lord Stanley's Cup at home.
Bring it back to San
No, that's a
Jose.
new pitcher. Oh, shit. I ain't seen a new pitcher for, come in. Caleb Jakes.
Knocked off the boys from 1 to the Deo, 1-0.
And we are back to begin the top of the 8th inning between the Sanford River Rats and Altamont Springs Boom. Altamont Springs up 8-6. There's been another pitching change for the Rats. Coming in for Mitch McCarthy is Caleb Jakes. Caleb Jakes has pitched in 3 appearances, total of 4 2/3 innings, giving up 6 hits and 4 runs, walked 7 but struck out 3. Has a win this season as the first pitch is a ball to the leadoff hitter for the Altamont Springs Boom, Alex Young. Young, who first and second, and now that's a leadoff single for the Boom. Leadoff single for Altamont Springs as we now go to the top of the lineup. And Aaron Palmer. Palmer still looking to get that first hit tonight. 0 for 4. Grounded out to short in his last 2 plate appearances. So now, here we go once again. Aaron Palmer, who is the leadoff hitter, off of the Alex Young single. Now first pitch coming, that one's going to be called a ball.
So this is, so we got him here.
Altamont Springs, who scored
He's not young.
3 runs in the last inning,
PA on the arm.
looking to add on a couple of more here in this Game 1 matchup. They now have 10 team hits in this one.
He steals with that lead, he has got to be.
Of course, Sanford with 6 runs on 7 hits. Excellent defense here by both teams. No errors in this one so far.
Got a little better lead this time.
Now here's that pitch. That's going to be chopped foul.
Just
And we'll go out of play.
That's all I do? Yep. Just change it from here to here.
Yeah, change it over.
So,
Is it? Oh, that's one more, sorry.
so now, 1-1 count here.
Just like to change it. All you gotta do is
Young at
just,
first.
whichever one it is, just
Jake's throwing over to just the panic,
change it out. Do that.
making sure that Young doesn't go anywhere.
Number of runs scores. You just click the button and you change it to that.
So now Jakes is going to set up.
And you go to the bottom and change
1-0 this season so far in 3 games played. Breaking ball pitch goes high for ball 2 for a minute there. Young was about to go and steal second.
What is it now? 2-1.
Made a decision to
2-1. Over here.
Made a decision to stay back there.
On, so you need to be over here. So this is live.
Now here comes the
Okay, this is
2-1
live.
pitch.
This is what's previewed.
And that one's going to be down low, called a ball.
This, the guy knows when to
Very close.
Wait, what do you want? When do I want that?
That fastball went just underneath the strike
At the
zone.
end of the break, then just hit that button. It'll send it over. This is live right now.
Okay.
So what is it? 3
So now here we go, a 3-1 count here. Still no out in the top of the 8th. Pitch coming, swing and chopped. And that seemed to knock off Alejandro Martinez's leg. Comes up limping for a minute. Gonna try and walk this one off. Seems to be okay.
Y'all got your own when you play. If you're happy, you know it.
It was the first one I saw.
Athletic trainer for
That's minus 10 intern points for you.
Sanford coming up
He
here.
needs intern points. I get director of league operations points.
Orioles and Blue Jays knotted at 5, bottom of 7.
Take a
White
quick
Sox
look at
3-1
Martinez's
over the
leg.
You see White Sox
End
like
of
Justin
5.
Morneau?
Seems to
And
be
the
coming
Rockies, victory
just fine, so he'll
11-5
stay out there and walk that one off.
5-3 over the Stros.
We'll go back into the catcher position.
Happy days to play.
What?
Martinez, who's been batting in the 8th spot here tonight,
I can make anything happen.
will be in the on-deck circle in the bottom. Make no surprise here if
Currently purple leg.
Kevin Davidson brings in a pinch hitter for Martinez just to rest up on that leg. Now full count pitch. He's going to go back over to first to Sapanic. Check on Young.
Mr. Siegel requests the Beatles. Happy birthday.
So Palmer still looking to get his first hit of the night. 0 for 4 in this one. Here we go, and that one's going to be chopped foul. Young was going to second. Probably would have gotten there in time if Palmer didn't swing. Palmer from New Orleans, Louisiana. Goes to college in New Orleans. Here we go. Full count pitch, runner at first. Here it goes. High for ball 4. And Young, who was going to second, trying to steal, will get there anyway as a walk. We'll have runners on first and second. So now Shintu, who was hit by a pitch in the top of the 7th, start the inning and then stole second. Currently 1 for 3 in this ball game. Does have 2 runs. Batting average at 200. First pitch by Jake's coming, and it seems like the bunt will go out of play. So a sacrifice bunt is what Shintu was trying to do to send runners over to second and third.
Can't you get him to throw strikes, Katie?
I can't make them do anything.
So now,
If I did, we wouldn't be winning. We would be
Caleb Jakes going to set up once more. Sanford could try and go 2 here.
Excuse me, sir.
Why can't you throw strikes?
Now Jake setting up once more. Patiently waiting.
So well, so great.
Here comes a double steal, and it seems like Martinez tries to throw it over to third. Does not get there in time, so the double steal by both Young and Palmer go through as another successful takeoff and landing. Brought to you by Orlando Sanford International Airport, one of the many sponsors for the Florida Collegiate Summer League.
Katie, ask him why you don't use the slide.
Now, runners on second and third, and there's no outs here. 0 balls and 2 strikes. Caleb Jakes with the pitch, and that will be chopped over to third and will be the force out at first as Mason was able to hold up Young over there at third base to get the first out. So that's a sigh of relief for the River Rats as none of the runners advance to go home. Possibly looking for the same thing with Chris Gonzalez, who hit an RBI double in his last at bat back in the 7th. Got the first run of that 3-run inning for the Boom. Now with 1 out, here's the first pitch, breaking ball high, 74 miles per hour, called a ball. So now Gonzalez setting up once again. Runners in scoring position. The Boom can add on and end the Rats right here. You got Jason Sierra in the on-deck circle. Here's the breaking ball pitch. That one's inside for ball 2.
2-0, walk him now.
0 on deck.
Rats in danger of having the bases loaded here. Sierra, who got an RBI double back in the first in the on-deck circle. Gonzalez with the RBI double. His last at bat. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. That one's down low and away for ball 3. So now they're 1 pitch away from possibly loading up the bases. Caleb Jake's gonna try and stay frosty on the mound.
I would let him swing right here.
Now Jake setting up. Here comes the pitch, and that will be called strike. And Gonzalez, who thought that was ball 4, chucks his bat and was about to make his way over the first, has to come back and continue the at-bat. Gonzalez, 1 home run, 5 RBIs this year. Could possibly bring in a couple of more to add on. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Jakes with the throw, and that will be chopped foul. So now it's a full count here So you got Young on third, Palmer on second. Shintouf grounded out for the first out. So Jake's getting the signal. So now that one's going to be hit out into left center field, going past Justin Smith. Both runs will score, and that will be a 2 RBI double for Altamont Springs. Now it is a 10-6 ball game with 1 out here in the top of the 8th. And now here comes Kevin Davidson coming out to the mound. Possibly looking to relieve the pitcher, Jakes. So now a 10-6 ball game. It seems like Katie's just gonna come out there and talk to Jakes and Martinez at the pitcher's mound.
Water, please.
Thank you.
Seriously?
No, it's just the wind.
10-6 ball game here. So now Jakes has to recompose himself.
First
Now
baseman,
Jason Sierra,
Sierra.
who lined out to Kyle Wilson at short in his last at bat,
I hope that one of the things he told
could
me
possibly
was
bring in another run.
blind and
The Rats still have the bottom of the 8th and bottom of the 9th to possibly cut into this lead. They have to get out of the 8th first. 10 runs on 11 hits by the Altamont Springs Boom. 6 runs on 7 hits for the River Rats.
Throw it to second.
So now Jake's gonna set up.
Go over, go over.
Here comes the first pitch to Sierra. No. He's gonna look back at second, making sure that Gonzalez isn't going anywhere. Now Jake's gonna set up once again.
Well, he doesn't
And
need
that
to worry
one-
about the slide stuff, does he?
That takes care of that. Wild pitch.
Gonna be a wild pitch.
No.
And now Gonzalez makes his way over to third.
Shocking.
Now the runner is at third base. And Sierra Jordan just has to take one swing and possibly make this an 11-6 game.
Penguins on the power play.
So now here comes the 1-0 pitch. That one's going to be away for ball 2. This game, the final game in the Florida League, currently playing tonight. Winter Park and DeLand ended 15-2, ended in 7 innings. Leesburg versus Winter Garden got canceled. 0-2 pitch is called for a strike. So now that pitch by Jakes could add some confidence. Now 2-1 pitch coming with 1 out, and that's a swing and a miss for strike 2. Seth Johnson in the on-deck circle had an RBI single in his last at bat. If Sierra doesn't bring him home, Johnson will be looking to do so. 2-2 pitch. That one's going to be popped high, and it seems out there in foul territory. Sapanic will make the catch
Yeah, nobody was ever.
for out number 2.
It's like 2 outs.
No, there's 1 out, but the pop-up was.
And now
We could have tagged it. Left fielder,
Seth Johnson.
Grand Valley State in Michigan. Seth Johnson.
Seth Johnson looking to add some more runs here.
Okay.
You like the basketball?
Yeah, go ahead. Sounds good.
You got it? Yeah.
Yes, I
Shintouf grounded out to third for out number 1. And that's a swing and a miss for strike 1. Jason Sierra
Just press that one.
popping out. Just a panic.
Here, here, and then over there.
And then press arrow again.
So now Johnson and possibly be that guy to bring home Gonzalez. That one's a swing and a miss for strike two.
Cool. Thank you, man.
Back-to-back strikes by Caleb Jakes.
I type out bottom. BOT.
And now Jakes will set up once again. One more pitch can get him out of this inning. The Boom scoring 5 runs in the last 2 innings. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. That one's going to be outside for ball 1. So this is game 1 of a 3-game series here between Altamont Springs and Sanford. Game 2 will be tomorrow at Lake Brantley High School. 1-2 pitch coming. That one's going to be swinging and hit out there into right field, and another run scores for Altamont Springs. An RBI single for Seth Johnson once again. The Boom are up 11-6. Altamont Springs is adding on to the hit parade.
What is this?
Back-to-back 3-run innings here for the Boom.
Here's center fielder Russell.
Now Schwartzfeger, who had an RBI single in his last at-bat, was also caught stealing as he tried to make his way to third. Now here's the first pitch. Jakes is going to throw back to Stepanik at first. So, Jakes is about to throw the first official pitch. Here it comes. Outside for ball 1. So now, 1-0 count here. Here comes the first
8
pitch
of the 11.
over to Schwartzfeger.
10 of the 11.
High for ball 2.
Make a note of that. Out of the 11 runs.
Now it's a 2-0 count.
10 of them have come from either wild pitch or stolen base. So I think the sequence been hated from wild
Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Now it's going to be popped high out in the left field. Lopez is going to try and get there. No, Wilson makes his way back, so that'll be out number 3. 3 runs scored by Altamont Springs here in the 8th. River Rats are going to try and cut into this when we get back with the bottom. It'll be low. Top of the 8th and leading off the bottom of the 8th inning for the River Rats will be Sergio Lopez. Lopez hit a single in his last plate appearance. That first pitch coming in as a strike. by Hoyer. Hoyer has pitched 1 inning so far, has struck out 1 as well. So now that one's going to be called foul as it crosses the first base line. Lopez from Hillsborough Community College, him alongside Alejandro Martinez. Logan Stepanek in the on-deck circle. Sanford in this ball game without Omar Villaman. Villaman being sit out for rest as he played in the both games in doubleheader. As that's a swing and a miss for strike 3, the first strikeout of the inning, the second strikeout of the game for Hoyer. So Hoyer picking up where he left off after striking out Cole Gibbs to end the 7th. Strikes out Lopez to start the 8th. And now Logan Stepanek, who struck out in his last plate appearance, back in the bottom of the 5th. Rats have a lot of work to do, down by 5. With Martinez coming up, and he's going to stay in it. Fastball coming down low for ball 1.
How far are they in the draft?
They're around pick 30.
Stepanek at bat. Here comes the next pitch. High for ball 2. Martinez in the on-deck circle, as you say. Martinez looking to stay in this ball game after he got hit in the leg from a pitch earlier in the previous inning. 0-2 pitch coming out. That's ball 3. So Stepanek getting the first via walk could be a starting point for the Rats rally.
What are they?
Now 3-0 count with 1 out here. Here comes the pitch, and that one's high for ball 4. So here comes Alejandro Martinez. Martinez 0 for 2 with a walk in this game. Did make it home off of a run. Martinez now has the opportunity to bring a runner home. If he can knock it out deep. We're approaching 3 hours here. The Boomers still up 11-6. Here comes the first pitch. In there for strike 1, high and right. Game 2 will be at Lake Brantley High School tomorrow. Game time starting at 7 p.m. There comes the 0-1 pitch. That one's down low for ball 1. MLB draft still going on.
It's pretty good.
A couple of players looking to get drafted.
That's the pick they got for
And that pitch will be
Daniel Murphy signing with
low in for a ball. Still going through the first round here in the MLB draft. The official first pick that was by the Philadelphia Phillies is Mickey Moniak from Acosta Canyon High School.
Number 2 pick.
Was born May 13th, 1998. Makes me feel younger and younger every day. Now that one's going to be chopped over to second. Palmer gets it to Rivera. Rivera gets it back to Sierra. 4-6-3 double play to end the bottom of the 8th. Now there's 1 inning remaining. The Boom are still up. 11-6. We'll have the 9th inning for you in just a minute. Damn it.
Was that Griffey?
Murphy was number 1. And it was a big debate. Who should be
It
number
was a
2?
little.
Slightly. He also never made the big
I don't get that.
Ho! 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 Tata! Jump on it! 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 Apache, jump on it, jump on it. Oh, ah, ooga, ooga, ooga. Oh, first time I heard this song was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Just did the dance and everything. My God. Please, Aaron, hop on for a minute. So hop on, talk about just the dominance of Altamont Springs.
All right. If you want, I can do another play-by-play if you're tired.
Shit. Yeah, come on back on for a second, you know?
Color?
Yeah, color.
Okay.
Yeah, let's come back on for color. I know you gotta do your story. So you can just talk and...
I'll talk and type.
Yeah, talk and type. You know, do a little bit. Just kind of talk about how... So, ready?
Yeah.
And we are back, about to begin the top of the 9th inning here. Altamont Springs up 11-6. Leading off for the Boom will be Christian Rivera, who walked in his last at bat. And I'm joined once again by the journalism intern for Altamont Springs, Aaron Paulaboy. Aaron, your boys came back into it. First pitch is coming in for a strike by Caleb Jakes. Tell me how they've been able to do it, scoring 6 runs in the last 2 innings.
Yeah, well, after blowing a 5-0 lead and eventually trailing 6-5, it was important to see this team show that they have the bats in their lineup to come back, and really that's what we've seen here as Rivera swings through a strike, making it 0-2. But I mean, it's been remarkable. This is a team that really struggled to score runs through their first 3 games of the season. And then just what we're seeing today right here, just an offensive outburst. A 4-run first inning, 3 runs in the 6th and 7th. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
And that one's going to be chopped up in the middle. Breen's going to get to it. Can he get the throw at first in time? No. So Rivera able to outrun the throw to first, and that will be a leadoff single for the Altamont Springs Boom. And it's things like that, Aaron, that are keeping Altamont Springs ahead. And it's pretty interesting considering, like you said, the first couple of games that y'all have had, including the 2 games at Winter Park, against Winter Park, only scored a total of 3 runs.
3 runs, yeah, but the pitching only allowed 1 run in that series. So, you look at the box scores, you wouldn't think this team would be a 3 looking at 4 wins right now. But really, the last 2 games, the game 2 of the doubleheader last night, and this game right here, it's really been a lot of fun to watch. And with more players showing up in the weeks to come or the days to come, it really gives Chuck Shaw so much options, or a much deeper bench. I mean, this team, I think we overheard a stat in the press box that 11 out of their 11 runs, 10 of them have come aided from either a stolen base that came around to score or a runner who advanced on a wild pitch. So not only are they creating runs for themselves and stealing bases, but they're also capitalizing on the mistakes made by Sanford pitching in terms of those wild pitches.
Well, yes, indeed, and it's very interesting to see how Altamont Springs have scored 10 of their runs have been attributed with a stolen base. Kevin Davison, the head coach for the River Rats, who was formerly the head coach at Altamont Springs last season, usually likes to let his players steal bases, like to let the dogs, stick the dogs on the teams and everything. No pun intended at Winter Park. But, he's absolutely right. It's very interesting here. And Chuck Shaw, very, very happy with the way his team is playing tonight. It's now a 1-1 count for Randy Oliva, who was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Here comes the 1-1 pitch in there on the corner for strike 2.
Yeah, Oliva, I want to say he is the only, looking at my score sheet, he's the only player in the lineup who's not reached base yet. So he'd like to contribute to the cause right here in the base knock. But down on the count.
Well, here's the 1-2 pitch coming. That one's going to be breaking ball down low, called the ball. And me saying this personally because I think I've been here for the last couple of home games calling for Sanford. Historic Sanford Memorial Stadium really is a hitter's ballpark.
And we've seen it today with Sergio Lopez's home run, but also the Boom doing a good job of finding the gaps.
Pop up over to first, and it seems like Sapanic's going to get there before Breen to make the first out, so that will be a pop out over to first base. And that is the first out. It seems like Oliva will not be able to reach base in this ballgame. He has a chance to do it tomorrow in Game 2. That will be at Lake Brantley High School. Mark Shelley will be calling that game tomorrow. The broadcaster for the Altamont Springs Boom. And now Alex Young, who hit a single in his last plate appearance, also stole a base.
Yeah, Young, again, the speed there. I mean, obviously he has a runner in front of him with Rivera at first, but hitting 9. But I mean, we've seen him so far in the season hit 2, hit 5, I think hit 7. So he's really expendable in this lineup for Chuck Shaw, and it's nice having players like that who can you can place anywhere in the lineup and still be a contributing member of the team.
And Caleb Jake's throwing back into the tank to make sure that Rivera doesn't go anywhere.
Remember, it's all layers.
Yeah, Rivera looked like he leaned his pump and was able to dive back. And, 11-6, 5-run lead with this Sanford offense. No run is not enough.
That is right. You never know. Sanford scored 6 innings in the bottom of the 4th. Still have 1 inning left to go. They're only down by 5. Lightning can strike twice. No pun to Leesburg. But as the first pitch was called a ball. Now Jakes, here's the next pitch. That one's going to be chopped over to Breen. Gets it to Wilson. No, he loses handle of it. And that's going to be an error on Breen. And this inning's going to continue.
With close, Danny, when it rains, it pours. That was a tailor-made 4-6-3 double play. Young runs well, but that ball was stung right on the button to Green, and just, I don't know if it went under his glove or if he lost it on the transfer. He didn't get the best look at it here. Regardless, that brings us back to the top of the lineup. Eric Palmer, who's 0 for 4 today, but he has walked and come around to score. He'd like to get a hit.
Also has a stolen base as well, contributing to the 11 runs.
Right.
The first error committed in this ball game here in the top of the 9th by Nick Breen.
And incredible that was the first error with when there's combined 17 runs scored.
We were close to going the full 9.
With the exception of several wild pitches by both teams, it's been a fairly clean game up to this point. As I mentioned, a little surprising when you see so many runs on the board and all of them coming earned to the respective pitchers.
Absolutely. So Palmer with a walk and a run. That pitch being swing and a miss for strike 1. It's a 1-1 count here with 1 out. And now you got a runner in scoring position. The Boom can probably put the final nail in the coffin here. They can get another base hit.
I don't know if they would have gotten 2.
So here we go. 1-1 count. Runners on first and second. Jakes with the pitch to Palmer. And that one will be called a strike.
Yeah, they killed the second base umpire, and he did not check his swing, is what they're saying. So 1-2 on Palmer with the quick and dangerous Yasin Shentoof waiting on deck.
Shentoof on deck, grounded out into third in his last plate appearance. Shentoof currently 1 for 4 of 2 runs in this ball game. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, chopped foul.
Yeah, just got a piece of that. It looked like Palmer reached a little bit out of the zone there to hit that one. But again, when 2 strikes on you, you got to protect the plate. I mean, the human element of the game right here. No ump is perfect. So anything borderline in the strike zone or off the strike zone rather, you got to throw the handle at.
And the quest to repeating for another championship is never easy. That breaking ball is in there for ball 2.
And it's funny, Danny, a couple of these guys on Altamont were members of the 2015 Sanford River Rats team.
Yeah,
so they're very familiar with their opponent today, but also they're very familiar with what it takes to be a championship team. The one that comes to mind is Jason Sierra, our first baseman in Altamont. So interesting to see, how a good amount of the Sanford team last year came over here.
And that one going to be in the gap. No, Wilson's going to get it. Can't make the throw. So that's going to be a base hit for Altamont. And now the bases are loaded with Yasin Shentoof coming up to bat.
Yeah, Palmer checks in with his first hit of the game. And the shortstop, Wilson, right there, probably saved a run, but he was going to his right. He would have had it thrown across his body. And it looks like he didn't get a good grip on the ball. So kept the ball in front of them, saves a run for now. But bases loaded. 1 out for Pittsburgh's Yasin Shentoof, who comes up on the day already. Just 1 for 4 on the day, rolling to a double play, but he has stolen a couple bases and reached base on it to hit by pitch.
And now a breaking ball hitting into left center field, and a run's going to come home, and a second one is going to follow it. A 2 RBI single by Yasin Shentoof, getting his second hit of the night and getting 2 RBIs off of that single. The lead.
Only thing I can say is I hope these guys are saving some runs for tomorrow. tomorrow night and Saturday evening as well. 13 runs by far. They scored 8 runs last night, which I think me and Mark Shelley, our broadcast intern for the Boom, considered the offensive outburst of the season. But right here, 13 runs.
On the 15 hits too.
13 runs off 15 hits. What's even more impressive is that 8 of the last runs have come from the 7th inning onwards. So really, an ability to find holes and drive runs during the late aspects of the game when they were trailing earlier 6-5.
Seems like the Boom are absolutely booming here in the final 3 innings. Scored 3 runs in the 7th, 3 runs in the 8th, now with 2 runs here in the 9th. First pitch is going to be popped out and will possibly go into foul territory. Yes, it does. Chris Gonzalez, who had a RBI double in his last at bat, wanting to bring some more runs home.
Rush anybody back in this league, do they?
So now a 13-6 ball game. That's going to possibly put the final nail in the coffin for Sanford.
Yeah, it's going to take, quite a rally in the bottom half of the inning. But, we've seen crazier things happen. All it takes is a base hit there and a base mark there. And I think Sanford just needs to get out of this inning first and foremost.
Breaking ball in there for strike 2. So a quick 0-2 count on Chris Gonzalez. Gonzalez currently 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs and 3 runs here in this ball game. Has been walked as well. He was hit by a pitch back in the 7th. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 3. He actually walked in the first at bat and struck out in this one. So now 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning, and up comes Jason Sierra. Popped out to first base in his last plate appearance, lined out to short. Before that, he struck out, flew out to right field, and has hit an RBI single, the first RBI of this ball game, back in the first inning. And first pitch is down low, and Martinez scoops it up. And so this is the 7th batter faced here in this inning. Caleb Jake staying in this one.
Yeah, he's really, really taking some damage here. But Kevin Davis, not a lot of, other options considering he has 2 more games to play in this series before the off day on Sunday. Gonna need his bullpen to give him some innings.
Well, this is one positive you can take out of this game. This is game 1 of a 3-game series. We're still in the very beginning of the Florida League. Everyone testing themselves out as that pitch is high for strike 1. Everyone is getting a chance to look at every other team in the league and see how they play, and give them a chance to go back to the drawing board and take care of games 2 and 3, and also take care of each other later on this season. Altamont Springs and Stanford plays a couple more times later on in the year.
Oh, you're exactly right, Danny. What comes to mind is this is the 7th game for the Rats. This is the 5th game for the Boom. A week into the season, a week and a half in, maybe 10 days. It excites me, what we could be seeing in August.
And that's another hit up to the gap, another RBI single. This one by Jason Sierra. Run scores. It's 14-6. Altamont Springs. 9 runs in the last 3 innings. So now you got Seth Johnson.
Yeah. Sierra, started off the game with an RBI single, and what is his last at bat has an RBI single in the left. In between that, he was 4 straight appearances at the plate where he flew it to right, struck out, lined out to the shortstop, and popped up to the first baseman in foul territory. So even though he already had a hit earlier, I'm sure it felt like ages between his first at bat and what will be his 6th at bat.
So now, first pitch in there for a strike to Seth Johnson. Johnson had RBI singles in the last 2 innings. And now there's 2 outs here in the top of the 9th, 0-1 count. The Rats is trying to get out of this one. Here comes the pitch from Jakes. Breaking ball high in there for ball 1. I know Caleb Jakes wants to get out of this one. He's pitched so far 1 2/3 innings, giving up 7 hits, 6 runs, 4 earned. Walked 1 and struck out 1. Has faced 14 batters, the most out of any Stanford pitcher tonight, as that one pops out and goes foul. Stanford using 5 pitcher to starter Davis Vayner. Pitched to third. Craig Savage, who did really well, pitched 4 innings, gave up 2 hits, a run, and struck out 2. Colton Freeman pitched the inning, struck out 2. And then Mitch McCarthy giving up 3 runs. And now Caleb Jakes giving up 6 so far, inning and 2/3. 1-2 pitch coming. Down low, call the ball.
You find another one?
So now, the Rats have 3 outs to cut into this lead. Stranger things have happened. You're a Mariners fan.
Don't get me started on those darn Seattle Mariners. It's the Major League Draft today, and that's probably one of the few bright spots in the Mariners' history, drafting Ken Griffey Jr. number 1 in
And that's
1987. But hey, they're about 7 games over 500, so we'll see what happens this year. They might just make the playoffs.
Jakes was able to get the strike on himself. Johnson. That ends the top of the 9th. 3 runs scored more for the Altamont Springs Boom. It's now 14-6. We'll have the bottom of the 9th for you in just a moment. Oh,
Mark, do you want to be the bottom of the 9th?
yes, Mark, hop on.
Because I'm getting down to take photos and grab interviews quick.
Mark, come join me. Batters faced.
Yeah, not a bad start here for him to sort of close this game out for Boom. Enjoying a nice lead here.
You're enjoying. I know you're enjoying this too. As the broadcast for Altamont Springs, you're going to be calling Game 2 tomorrow out there at Lake Brantley High School. Have a lot of momentum going in. Your team advances now to 4-1 with a win here tonight. That pitch is down low for a ball, so
yeah. And again, as my colleague Aaron said early in the broadcast, last night we thought we saw the explosiveness of the Boom offense. We surely saw their speed on display, and we see that here tonight as well. And it's this is now the most explosive night that they've had, and in fact, of the prior games that the Boom have played, this is more runs than they have combined in all the games.
And that one's going to be hit out into left field, so a base hit for Kyle Wilson, his first hit of the night, coming in the bottom of the 9th inning. The 8th team hit for the River Rats, and that's going to be a single with Justin Smith coming up to bat, looking to get his first hit of the night.
Center fielder.
Yeah, this has really been a hit-happy game here. 16 and 8 hits here for both teams.
I believe that Sanford Memorial Stadium is a hitter's ballpark. As I spoke with Aaron earlier. I definitely think so.
Absolutely, I'm not going to doubt you on that one. And you know, I think with that nice little base hit there up the line, that's something that sort of gives at least a glimmer of last chance hope here to start for something here. Get a man on base and see how far you can close the gap here in the bottom of the ninth.
Well, back-to-back balls thrown there over to Justin Smith. Now a 2-0 count with Wilson over there at first. I mean, the Rats have scored 6 innings in the bottom of the 4th with that 3-run homer by Sergio Lopez. So something could happen here with Justin Smith, a native Miami University, known for a lot of great players in multiple sports, basketball, football, and baseball. Currently now, I believe that is Jason Hayward's brother, who currently plays out there in Miami.
And you talked about the Lopez 3-run shot that really brought this game back together, and then eventually the Rats taking the lead, and the Boom kind of being caught off guard there in a huge 4th inning.
And Wilson's going to try and steal.
6 runs, and you know the Boom were kind of caught off guard there, and here late in the ballgame, the Boom have really come out 3s across the board in the last 3 innings, 3, 3, and 3, as their hit total comes up to 16 so far. Excuse me.
Now that foul ball by Justin Smith, that hit was going to be foul. Wilson was going to try and steal second, but has to go back over to first. Now it's a 2-2 count here to Justin Smith. Hoyer going to take a moment to recompose himself. And this is very good for Altamont Springs. You know, only using 3 pitchers tonight gives a lot more of their guys in the bullpen some rest. Has them keep on going for games 2 and 3 tomorrow as Smith swings through that one for strike 3, and there are now 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Yeah, and you talked about keeping a low number of pitchers here in this game, and that's something that the Boom are very strong is in pitching. And there's really, the only other thing that rivals the Boom in pitching in terms of where their strength is their speed, as I keep talking about with the stolen bases here. But pitch counts are relatively low for Boom's pitchers, and they like to keep as few guys on the mound as they can. And that's their main strength that they're going with this summer.
And Reed Hayes leading off, and he lines out to right field to end the ball game. Altamont Springs winning this one 14-6. 24 hits total, 16 coming from the Boom, 8 coming from the Rats.